Now let's take a look at these statements and charges. The first statement we have is from Jessie. Myself and my girlfriend, no. She had gone overseas when this all went down because you guys broke up and she was trying to get over you. Oh, you both owned the business together for 6 years, did you? Yeah, no, that relationship was not 6 years old. You recently had a baby with someone else, you fucking liar. Look how he's wording this. Another herbalist who also works locally here in Dalesford. Yeah, at his business. You'll see what I'm talking about, how he's trying to downplay it, that he wasn't involved, and I'm just this psycho. In relation to her drug usage, you've seen what I was seeing Taj for. You know, when it first went down, I was trying to tell myself, nah, he only thinks that because he doesn't know. But he did know. My whole crew knew. You can see the emails that he was getting me THC and CBD while I was waiting for my scripts and everything. He knew. That's Enki. We provided Chloe with some herbal tea and she came to collect it from our shop in Dalesford. No, I didn't. I did consults there and you can see it with my health records, you liar. At some point, my phone number was provided to Chloe. Because you took over my protocol when Taj went away, I started receiving text messages asking for health advice. No, I started sending text messages when the products that you were putting me on weren't working and were reacting. I didn't provide any healthcare advice to Chloe, and my position remained consistent that her health advice has to come either from a doctor or the herbalist. So you can see in the emails with the herbalist that she had said she was talking to Jessie about making, something else, and that he was going to get me a CBD because they both agreed that that THC was too potent for me. And she even said, most people only have 1 drop of that. We don't think it's for you because it's stimulating. So you can see his involvement. Now, when it all went down, because everything's verbal with him, please remember in the previous comms that he organized it over the phone, then gave it to his so-called partner and disappeared out the back and pretended not to be there. So he was about to let her just take the front and the fall for everything. When I had the reaction, he told everyone I was on drugs, but he told me I wasn't meant to have that oil. Your herbalist wasn't meant to give you that. I told her it wasn't ready and you shouldn't have it. You organized it and gave it to your own partner. So he was willing to take down his partner and get her in trouble for being the one doing it so that his hands weren't on it. He then put the blame on the herbalist who was not even there. Then he denied having anything to do with it and said I was a drug addict. But you can see in the comms with the herbalist that's not the truth. And you can see as he's speaking in here that he's trying to downplay it. But you can also see as he continues speaking that it all just twists and changes. No, you said, fuck pharma, we got you. You said, I have a different relationship with herbs to the herbalist. And you just took over my whole fucking protocol. I am very aware that it is not my role to provide healthcare or advice. Then why did you? Because we have a healthcare practitioner who works for us and performs that role. Yeah, the lady you just tried to make out works locally, not for you, you fucking idiot. On several occasions, my business did supply herbal teas, extracts and essential oils. However, this was all prescribed by our herbalist. See, first she was a local and they were just providing me teas. And then it turned into she's their herbalist. Within a couple of weeks of knowing Chloe, she had attended the shop over several occasions. Because you told me to come in and nothing was working and you fucked me up. When I was just seeing the original herbalist, I went in once a fortnight for a consult, got my products and left. We had interactions via email in between, but that was it. He takes over, I'm going in every day all fucked up on a roller coaster. I was already on a roller coaster, trying this, trying that. But his was different. So the one I was on with the other herbalist was trialing this. Does it work? Nope. It's okay. We got you. We'll try this next time. But his was slamming me left, right, and center. Try this, try this, try this, try this. It was so different. And it fucked me good, mate. And you know it. She came in and was manic and having a mental health episode. So first I was manic having a mental health episode. She told us that she had come in to get more herbs. You can see on the notes from my herbalist that that she called the clinic to tell them that I wasn't okay and I was going in there. See what I mean? He's lying about everything. Oh, and because she was having a nervous system episode. She was irrational, emotional, and very upset. I can tell you the state that I was in. I'm going to tell you the state that I was in. I'm just going to find the video. Short. Somatic symptoms are very real for trauma. That's the state I was in when I went to their shop. Due to her presentation, I told her we couldn't. Until they offered an ambulance and my panic kicked in. But I never once got angry or aggressive, and you're going to see that because he's honest about one fucking thing in this statement, was that I didn't cause any scenes. Help her. I offered to call her an ambulance. However, this was declined by Chloe because she felt she would die in the ambulance. It's really important that you hear this and then line it up with the next statement. Chloe then laid down on the floor in our shop and told me she hadn't slept or consumed food or water in days. Who the fuck typed this? The person who typed this is working for the police, transcribing in a government role. They cannot type for shit. I did not lay down on his floor. They took me out the back of their store, up the stairs, out the back. And they laid me down on cushions and coats. They were in a circle, holding my hand, rubbing my back, chanting and taking care of me. He even gave me his crystal to hold while he was going, and he was helping me. And he was telling me stories about his own issues of when he wrapped in foil because he thought aliens were coming, because I was telling him about, I call them messages, the visuals that I get where my thoughts just don't let go and they're on repeat and repeat and repeat. Consumed water. I provided her with honey water, salts, and tried to help her. Chloe was able to gain more coherent attitude and was able to talk to me. Once she came around, she asked me to help her get an Airbnb, which I helped her do. After about 3 hours of having her in the store, she left. Okay, so what actually happened is he got me an Airbnb because I still couldn't go back to the van. That incident had just happened at the hotel, at his ex-girlfriend's mum's hotel. And I couldn't see properly and I was so sick. So he went on my phone with my banking, because I trusted them that much, and booked me the Airbnb. However, before I left is when he decided to do a 180, and that's when they all changed. What drugs have you been taking? What are you on? Tell me the truth. And then my healing team, who are all we're so proud of you, you're transforming. We're just like, And they all, Several weeks after that, Chloe attended the store again. No, I didn't. It was the next day. It was less than 24 hours because that was in the afternoon. And I went back the next morning. No, I arranged the next morning. I was going to go back the next morning, but I ended up going back in the afternoon. Just want to correct that. So I made the arrangements in the morning, but went back into the shop the following afternoon before closing. That was a Saturday afternoon. I went back the Sunday morning. Afternoon. And accused us of looking at her. She told us that she could feel the energy inside the room. She left after that and didn't cause a scene on this occasion. No, actually, what happened was I had gone in the next day to get more hydration and herbal salts because Jessie had organised. I was still at the Airbnb. I'd had the chat online with the yoga and the massage people about getting the massage, and I had organised that for the Monday, which was the next day. I went in to get the salts, and that's when no one would come near me, and only he would. And he guided me out of the store, and no one spoke to me. It was through correspondence to the herbalist who was away on holiday, when I had a nervous breakdown, that I told her about the energy in the room and that it triggered me, and that he interrogated me about drugs and it triggered me and it fucked me up. But he got to her with his version of events, and she obviously just believed that and didn't do her duty of care, the fucking coward. on Sunday. See how several months went by and the only contact was through letters, texts, and messages? Notice how he hasn't said anything about what was said. I don't have any copies of those, so this is my word against his. But notice how he mentions there's no abuse, nothing? It's because in all the letters and text messages, I was calling them out. Why did you do this? Why did you say I was on drugs? I've been seeing you for 4 months. You're my healing team. You know this is a trigger. You know da-da-da-da. Just going on and on and on and on and on. Like, how the fuck could you do this? Ranting at them. So if I was abusive or anything, he would have gone into more detail there. But notice how he's not offering to provide any examples or evidence of such texts. It's because they highlight everything that he did and that I wasn't actually doing anything wrong. But as you can see, he said, didn't cause a scene, right? I didn't cause a scene. They never saw me angry. They've never seen aggression. None of it. None of it, man. The rage I have now actually started on November 17th, 2023. That's when it really kicked in. It was brewing, and I could feel it, but it really kicked in at the IVO hearing, and I haven't been able to shake it since. And it was from the IVO hearing, and you're going to hear that in the next video, which is going to be showing all the evidence from the hearing. So here it says girlfriend's mother, it's the ex-girlfriend, attempting to blackmail her. I responded we hadn't done anything. The yellow parcel, yep, inside the yellow package, turn it on. Sitting inside the vehicle. Chloe threatens that if $50,000 isn't deposited into her account, she is going to defame us, ruin our social standing here in Daylesford, and sue us. Chloe also states she will destroy us all if the money isn't paid. It was delivered by Chloe and another person into the reception. No, it wasn't. I parked my car directly outside under the big lights, and the CCTV went straight through the front door of the reception, gave the envelope, came back out into my car, and drove back to the caravan park. I am concerned about what may happen. Last night, someone attended at whatever address in Daylesford and has damaged 2 security gates. I believe that the damage was committed by Chloe. I am also fearful that Chloe has been stalking my partner. Chloe has expressed an intimate knowledge of partner's family and her whereabouts. What? How? What, because they were eating dinner at the restaurant when I went there? I didn't know that. They fucking ate there all the time. I was going there every Friday morning because the yoga lady told me that I should go there because it's a good restaurant. And that the family eats there all the time, and I'll probably see her brother, and it's like a real family-oriented business, so it'll make me feel safe. What, because I told them that I Googled them? I told them all. They knew that. I am also fearful that Chloe is stalking my partner. How the... Is there anything that you can see? At this stage, when he made this statement, I had already blocked them. Like that person he's talking about that I was supposedly stalking, I had already blocked a few weeks before. And you could see her response to me while she was overseas. Her and I were fine. That's the last communication I had with her. I blocked her because I realized that, because she said, we'll talk soon after I speak to the Enki team. She was still overseas. More stuff went down with them, and it was clear that nothing was going to come of it. I actually blocked her, and I blocked the yoga, and I blocked one of their other staff members who I kept seeing around town who was really fucking with me, one of the younger ones who had been doing an apprenticeship there. And then, when all this went down and I saw these fucking statements, I blocked the rest of them. Like the owners and the mum and everyone. I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm just blocking you all if you're going to say this. Anything that I have said or done that shows you that I was violent, that I wanted her money, that I was stalking. You can see in my transcript, I never once asked the lady for her money. I kept begging her to help me and saying, I don't want your money, I don't want your money. And I never once specified an amount. I never once specified an amount. I showed the receipts and everything showing up to 42.5 and said, I want you to round up as a decent human to like help me out of it and tell him to give me a realistic thing. And I kept saying, not you, him, not you, him. I kept saying, I don't even want his mum to swoop in and cover it up. You've seen the transcript. Watch what else happens. That I would vandalize? It is this that I was doing drugs? This guy seriously fucked me up with all of this. He didn't just fuck me up, but I believe he actually really scared his own ex-girlfriend or partner or whatever the fuck they are and her mum and family just to like cover himself and be the victim. He actually scared his own people to save himself. Look at this. So, I didn't know they were having dinner. See, they were having dinner, she said, with my partner. Now, I've got some screenshots of a function that they had at that hotel, which was later on the 26th, 2 weeks after. When we were in the IVO hearing, she gets up and says that I come in and ruin the function that they had to try and make it sound worse. But actually, there was 2 weeks apart. And I apologize for that because I said that would have been scary and I acknowledge that because I own my shit. I said, I'm so sorry. Let's have a look. The women's toilet. Look at this, okay. I went out and called a waiter to come into the women's toilet. We both then inspected a bag. I could not open the bag as it was tight. Blah has then taken the bag upstairs to reception and given it to Blah. I then left not thinking much more of the bag that I just located on the door. I then drove home, blah, 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 watched the video, blah, blah, blah. She wanted me to put $50,000 in her bank account, otherwise she would destroy us all. She said that the money would need to go in, blah, blah. During the video, she addressed me as Mrs. Blah or ma'am. It was obvious that she was aware of my financial situation and that is why she was coming to me and not my daughter. You could hear me repeatedly saying, I want your influence. I don't want your daughter to go down. While I was watching the video, I could see there was a second person in the video. I believe it was obvious they had targeted me because it's their best chance of getting some money. Blah, blah, blah. Jesse arrived. We all watched it together. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. As soon as it started, they said that the lady in the video was the woman they had to stop coming into their business because they were scared of her. You've already seen Jesse's statement that that's not what happened. The next bit, they told me this lady threatened to commit suicide in their shop. You can see in Jesse's statement that didn't happen. So he's lied to her to scare them. They are really scared of me because of what he fucking did. Immediately reported to the police. Coincidentally, Jesse mentioned that he had seen the same exact bag tied up in their shop in Enki. This led me to believe that this woman had planted the bag I located earlier that evening. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this. As a result of receiving this, I have been generally fearful of what might happen to me and my family. Yeah, I threatened that I was going to report, sue, and expose everything dodgy that fucking happened. And I kept saying how much I don't want it to take down her daughter because he's going to throw her under the bus because she's the one who did the oil transaction. She's the one who wouldn't come near me in the shop, but it was all under his instruction, like a fucking puppet, where he's all behind the scenes and he can just throw her under the bus because he was already starting to blame her while she was overseas, saying she's just a kid, what would she know? She just works in hospo. Is that how you talk about your partner? And if she's just a kid, why were you fucking her, you creep? Seriously. Now let's look at the police officer who called me about it. When he called me, my rabbits were in my caravan at the caravan park there in Dalesford, but I actually had gone out of Dalesford. I was like about maybe 2 or 3 hours away from Dalesford, and I was returning. I was on a mission. And when he called... I want to explain this because you're like probably thinking I'm lying when I said I can't drive and then I just said I drove. I couldn't drive the caravan. Now you need to remember, unmedicated, triggered to the nines, and I've never driven a caravan before. I had just missed the ferry because I didn't know what I was doing and I kept having mistake after mistake after mistake. The door had already flown open. The rabbits were so traumatized and I had nowhere to go. So rather than driving around in a manic state, getting myself into situations, I needed to base myself. I was stuck there, but I needed to make a plan, get myself okay enough to drive, and then get to that planned destination. That's all I was trying to do. And I was driving around trying to figure out how the fuck to get things done and get out of there. But I wasn't ready and I wasn't able to drive a caravan. I wasn't there. And I said, I just need to get back to Dalesford and tend to my rabbits. Can I just have a couple of days to do that? Because I'm sick and I need to be able to just finish what I'm doing, get back, feed them, make sure they're okay, and then come in. Right? He said that I refused to win. Look at this, that I refused to go in. Where is it? Oh, here we go. At 5:10, I contacted Chloe, answered, and I had a 4-minute conversation requesting she attend the police station. She refused to attend. I didn't refuse because he then passed it on to Bacchus Marsh, and I told that same constable, Stacey, I told her the same thing, and she said okay, and we just arranged and I went in, and it was no problem. This guy here, Chloe was demanding that she pay a sum of $50,000 to her, or she'd defame the business. No, I wanted my money back, or I'll tell everyone what happened. From Jessie, not her. Next, dumbass. These 2 addresses under there, one of them is a completely different street and number. One of them is the right street, but wrong number. I wasn't at either of those addresses. So you're not paying attention or doing your fucking jobs. So this went over to Bacchus Marsh. I told them. They didn't have a problem. I just went straight in. I even took them a box of chocolates to say thank you for waiting for the couple of days, but they said we can't accept that. So this is the informant. Currently attached to the crime investigation unit. Not anymore. You're back in uniforms because you are shit. So shit. She's not just back in uniform. She was back in uniform answering the phone at the station. What a fucking drop that was. Going from, look at me, I'm a detective, to, hello, can I help you? Fucking loser. Okay, yep. Look at this. They even had a barrister go with them. So we have all these police officers and a barrister, detectives, quoting me that I asked for 50 grand. And all of them just listening to Jessie, who wanted his name left right out of it. Look at it, fucking idiots. Look at this, making demands of 50,000 whilst making slanderous threats. The threats I made were my rights. People demand that they get their fucking things righted and fixed and refunded, or they're gonna tell everyone what happened all the time. The only thing I fucked up on was the deadline at the end. Give it to me by this time or else. Because I was triggered. A police officer and a detective and a solicitor who are competent at their jobs would have been able to just nip that in the bud straight away. They would have sat everyone down to hash it out. They wouldn't have wanted a sick person to become homeless. She did not deny the allegations put to her. Yes, I did. I told you 1,000 times that I didn't want $50,000, and I told you 1,000 times that I didn't want that woman's money. You guys are so shit at your fucking job. You are so shit. Look at these charges. Look at these charges. Fucking committal dates going. You know, like, they took it so far, like, a sick person going, I just want to, how do what he did. And you're like trying to make out like I'm this big hardened fucking crim. And druggy. You are meant to get to the truth and help people keep safe. What you did was help a rich, corrupt person lie and destroy the life of someone sick who has already been so fucking abused and traumatized her whole fucking life. You guys are... I'm getting triggered now. See what I mean? Fucking blackmail, unemployed, yep. Evidence, yep. Fucking talking about the heater, yep. And then all they've done is quote everything right at the end. That's what I mean when I say corruption. You don't look at the whole picture of me begging and everything. You take that little snippet. And that's the policing in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me that's not corrupt. Tell me that is not corrupt. To gain herself made an unwarranted demand of $50,000 with menaces. You fucking idiots. So this is the IVO. Get this. So the mother and the daughter go into, and I get IVOs, but Jessie goes in to give a statement about the blackmail, but the daughter doesn't. Like, the daughter doesn't do anything with the blackmail charge. The daughter doesn't come and do anything. It's all just Jessie and the mum. And it's like, she's the only nice one who had a fucking heart, and her voice is kept out of it. And it's like, and he's terrorizing her and her family. Like, seriously. Look at this. This is the charge for blackmail that I wanted, for IVO, for stalking, because I wanted $50,000. There was nothing in there to say that I was dangerous, but they got it. So I agreed to it on that, you could deny it, you could agree to it, or you could do the one in the middle where you say, fine, put it, but I'm not guilty. You can just put it because I don't fucking care. Because I don't want to go near you idiots anyway. But check this out. Not to attend the township of Daylesford. I got banned from town. I had to leave town with nowhere to go. And not a single person in Victoria. And I wasn't able to drive the fucking van. I don't know how I didn't kill someone, jackknife, I would have broken so many laws, just driving around unmedicated, triggered, without a frontal lobe. This destroyed me. They didn't do their jobs. Dodgy as fuck. And you're going to see what happened during the hearing. You're going to see that they continued to be dodgy throughout the hearing. There was actual sabotage and really fucked up stuff that was happening during the hearing, and that's going to be in the next video of this series of why I'm doing this channel, what started it. Because this disorder, complex trauma, has no chance in this country being run this way.